Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent this week, beginning today, the 2nd of October, and moving through the weekend. Very exciting day we have on tap today. We have Mercury going direct in the sign of Virgo. Mercury went retrograde the end of August. I believe it was the 20th. So we can now move forward with contracts. We might be able to see some clearing of wonky communications that took place. Still double check those communications as we move forward through, I believe it's the 16th when Mercury will be back up to full speed and out of shadow. So continue to be mindful of your communication, but we can now move forward. And several of these themes that may have been popping up in your sphere since Mercury entered shadow on the 20th and went retrograde on the 9th. Some of these themes may have popped back up in your sphere of knowing. Well, just know now that we are coming out of this retrograde. It is direct, but again in shadow, with a greater understanding of depth in some of those themes that have been popping up in your world. And in addition to Mercury going direct, we also have Pluto going direct this week. So it is a time of forward movement, that's for certain, and we can do so with some of these other underlying aspects. Let's talk about those. We had the Saturn-Uranus square perfect last weekend, and that square is going to continue to be with us till the 10th or 11th of this month, but that energy, while it's not perfected, will continue to be with us through November. That is, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but that's restrictions, feeling of freedom versus restriction, traditional versus innovative, those type things. With Pluto changing direction today, we are changing direction this week. That's all about power and assertions of power. So you may see those two themes begin to meld a little bit. Assertions of power out in the world that have to do with transformations, helping us to see things a little bit differently and ushering us out of this massive planetary rewind that we have been feeling for quite some time. So again, Saturn-Uranus square is going to be with us this week, and also at the time of the full moon 1 week from today, that full moon in Aries. In addition, we've had a Mercury-Neptune opposition, and that was present last week. It's going to be present this week, and even next week as we usher in the full moon in Aries at the end of the week. So Mercury and Neptune, Mercury and Virgo, Neptune and Pisces, this is really good for imagination, real good for creativity, not very good for clarity, however, because Mercury and Neptune in opposition things are just still very foggy. Communications can be foggy. Even though Mercury is now going direct, we may not have all the details. They may not be as cattywampus when it comes to the form of communication or an email half going out that somebody misunderstands. Now it's just straight up fog. There could just be some fog in the details that we just don't know. So just know that theme of Mercury-Neptune opposition is going to be with us this week as well. And then around midweek, well, Mercury is going to trine Pluto, and I love that. I really do like that because Mercury is direct, Pluto's about to go direct, Pluto's slowing right down so that the Plutonian energy is amplified. So our transformation is even more profound. And Mars at that time is going to square Mercury, which is in Virgo, and Neptune, which is in Pisces. So what does all that mean? So you're going to want to take action on something, but I want you to be mindful because you may not have all the details. Back to that, Mercury-Neptune opposition. Mars is in the middle it's squaring both of those aspects. And so Mars is going to urge you to take action on something. And again, I just be mindful because you may not have all the details just yet. And if you use your communication for transformational purposes, again, Mercury trine Pluto, I do believe that that is where you'll find the most benefit midweek. It is great for research. If you have to research anything, any deep dives midweek through the weekend with Pluto slowing right down to a standstill, then going to switch and go forward, that is great for research. There's no doubt about that. And like I said, Pluto has been retrograde since the end of April. I don't know if you recall, but I will put again in the comment section below, depending on your sun sign, where Pluto's retrograde cycle would have hit your chart. I'll put that in the comment section below. You can now reflect on that, taking a look at the area where Pluto was drilling down while in retrograde, so you could review, revise, rethink things. Now we're going to come out of that, and Pluto is trine Mercury and sextile Neptune in the moon, so this is really good for us to reflect on some of that, whatever the theme is, wherever it's in your chart, reflecting on where it's time to now make transformations. We've got a full moon, then we've got a new moon eclipse, and eclipse season always gets rid of the things that no longer need to be in our life, and Pluto might be able to give you a little bit of foreshadowing relative to what you need to let go of in order for that transformation to occur. Then 1 week from today, we've got that full moon in Aries. I'll dive into it a little bit, but we'll talk more next week. That full moon, because it's in Aries, is going to be ruled by Mars. And again, we've got that Mars square between Mercury and Neptune. So I think that's going to get pretty profound for us. And it is, it's going to kind of leave us with this what's right. Which way do we want to go? Because Mars is the ruler of this full moon, and it's got those square aspects still. So I think there's going to be some ambiguity there. And Aries, the Aries Libra axis is definitely relationship axis, but it's autonomy versus group. Or balance over here and autonomy here. So I expect that those will also be themes at the time of this new moon. Now, the moon itself is very conjunct, I think within 2 degrees of conjunction with Chiron, or exact conjunction with Chiron. So I believe that this would be a very healing moon as well. And like I said, Pluto is stationary at the time of the new moon, so its influence is going to be very profound, very transformational. And the very next day, which would be the 10th of October, we have Mercury is going to enter Libra, which makes it even more copacetic from a relationship perspective. So, I did pull a card for this week. That's all I have for you this week. We really have got, with Pluto changing, Mercury changing directions, Pluto changing directions, a full moon coming up a week from today, and eclipse season here. It is time for some of these planets that have been asleep to start to wake up, us to start getting a little bit of clarity, but be mindful. Again, as I mentioned, we still have the Neptune, that Neptune fog. It's not, and Neptune's a retrograde, so we're still in that foggy area of waking up. So be mindful of that, especially if you want to take action on something. So I decided I was going to, instead of pulling a traditional tarot card, I decided to pull an oracle card for today. I started focusing on that full moon in Aries, and this deck actually jumped right out at me. Boy, does that not look like Aries fiery energy. But I decided to pull a card from the Dragon Oracle deck. And the card that I pulled is the Emerald Dragon card. Love this card, love this energy. So this is what we can focus on for for this week as well, leading up to the full moon in Aries. And let's just read the fine print at the bottom. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. Stay in that fifth dimensional energy as we begin to see the drill down, the Pluto getting right into the final degrees of Capricorn, letting things fall away. We'll read that one more time. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. Stay in fifth dimensional energy, folks. Get on that eagle's perch and be the observer of all that is. And I think that will serve you well. Have a fabulous week. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you know somebody who could be helped, please do share this video with them. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button and you will be notified when a video is being dropped. If you have any comments, please post them in the comment section below. And again, look for where Pluto retrograded in your, based on your sun sign in your chart. I'll post that in the comment section below. That'll allow you to reflect on transformational changes that you will see beginning this week. Have a fabulous week. Namaste.